I lived the other side of Leeds to my parents, and I was working down Eastern Park at this particular day when the riot happened in 81. And we didn't have any telephone or anything like that. So I was walking home to my parents' home. So I walked from Eastern Park to where my parents live, which is quite a distance. That'd take me a good hour to walk. And I'm walking up past into Chapeltown, totally unaware that there'd been a riot earlier. So it was dark. And as I'm walking up the hill, past Putney Park, I could see a police car, police van. And suddenly, after the darkness, a policeman appeared. What's your name? Where you going? And being a little bit forward, I said to him, well, I'm going home, why? You can tell me if you want. And he didn't see the funny side of it, so he throwed me in back of this wagon and he shut the door. Now, I was still in the dark as to what was happening. So I'm thinking, what's gone off? And I'm trying to speak to the man, there's nobody answering me. So after a while, I tried the door, which was open, so I got down and walked home. So I walked up to my parents' house, and when I got there, my brother was telling us about what's happened. I went, Jesus, didn't know. Because there's no visible sign where we live that there was an incident other than the fact there was police vehicles in and around the area. So I got really annoyed when that happened. I got really annoyed. I says again and again. So I don't know whether I phoned one of my friends or they phoned to ask where we were, type of thing. Somehow we met up that same evening. And we're talking about what's happening because we tend to be quite law-abiding, don't do anything untowards. You know, we go out, we work, we go to school, college, whatever, and then we come home. That's what we do. And it's a case of, why is it happening here? And I was there, I think there were 5 of us, and we were asking ourselves, why is it happening here? Why is it happening? What have we done? And we talked about how we can improve it. Police became an issue as well. And I think I was pushing the argument, well, if we're going to make changes, then we need to be part of that change, surely. We can't just rely on somebody else. We need to be part of that change. We are the youngsters. And that was it. So we talked about it, and it was really late now. And the decision we made was, he said, right, let's join the police. And we all said, okay, we'll join the police. We'll go and sign up tomorrow. Because we didn't think of it any more than the fact that we could just join up, which is strictly the truth. So it was agreed that we were all going to meet in town. I was going to go to the recruitment centre. And I got there in good time in the next morning. And I'm waiting, and there's a small queue of other people who wanted to join as well. And as the line is getting closer to the door, I'm looking around saying, where's all my friends?
Yeah.
There's nobody there. So I've gone in the door now, and we had to sit an exam. And I'm looking around, they're not there either. The exam I thought was quite easy, straightforward. So as soon as finished that, we're told that we had a few minutes for the next stage. So I went outside looking for him, no sign again. Went back in, went to the next stage, did that. Come back out, still not there. Then we had the interview. Went in, did the interview. And then the guy says, oh, well, you've been successful in the interview. Da, 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 da. So I came out. I'm thinking, where are they? Where have they gone? Have they turned home? And then I made my way home. As soon as I got home, one of them turned up. And I said, right, I know we didn't come this morning. He says, but we weren't sure if we could do it, you see, but we know you could. And that was it.
Wow.
And I thought, well, I laugh about it now, because up to that point, I was quite happily working in what I was doing.
Yeah.
As a training instructor. It was getting, the job was sort of losing a bit of excitement to me from when we started. And but policing gives you a slightly different side to what you can do, because policing, I call it, is probably the most individual of jobs you can do outside being a parent. Because when you get on that road, You are in charge of a lot of people, and you don't even believe it at the time, but you are. And as the years progress, you've realised the impact of communities. And even now I've retired, the impact I've had on the communities here, they've told me about my impact here. And I wasn't aware of it. I didn't think about it as being an issue, but for them, it meant a lot to them.
What advice or wisdom would you pass on to a younger generation? And this is a question asked by Ayatollah from Young Minds.
Right. All I can say is for anybody being young and looking at doing something with their life, just think, is it what I want to do? If that decision is still the same, then don't let anybody change your mind. And similarly with my children, I always said to them, if you've got a decision to make about something, make that decision, but know why you've made that decision. Don't be influenced by other people's eagerness and says, oh, we're going to do that. Says, you work it out yourself. If you can't get to their conclusion, then it's something telling you that maybe it's not for you. My son, when he left university, he trained as an architect. And what he said to me after 2 or 3 years post-graduation, he says, I've done this, but it isn't exactly what I thought it was going to be. Now, I'm thinking about going into this field of work. What do you think? So I says, put a question back to him. What do you think and what are you looking to achieve? And he told me, I said, so how are you going to do it then? If you agree, how are you going to do it? And he says, well, I've actually saved X amount of pennies for this because I know it's not cheap. And I'm asking you if you'd support me if I need it. Done deal. Absolutely no problem for me because he's thought about it and he's not being like a whim. And that's the best advice anybody can give anybody. If they've gone to explore the opportunity properly, it's not always going to be straightforward, and you have to have a little bit of break in between so you can say, well, if that's not working, plan two. Well, I'm a great follower of Michael Holding because I think too often very little is talked about us black people, and yet black people have contributed so much, not only with their lives, but they've actually discovered things, made things that change how we are today. And credit always being taken by somebody else, which is never nice, but it happens. What Michael Holding said, and I do believe him, has been absolutely true. We ourselves let us down because we don't push it. We don't push and say we are here.